So we have some excellent news to report tonight. Thank you to all of our countless volunteers here in Shelby County and the eastern part of Shelby County who came out to assist law enforcement and first responders with this very important need. Approximately 2:30 p.m. this afternoon, we received notification that a child, 7 years of age, white male, was missing. The circumstances behind the child missing near his home was he followed the family dog out into the woods and quickly became misplaced. Law enforcement responded with the assistance of our volunteer firefighters, our Chelsea firefighters, and countless volunteers that we are so deeply grateful for. We are glad to report that the child has been located safe and sound. The child is currently being checked out by our medical personnel, and the family is reunited with the child as we speak right now. I think things that we have to consider is that this would not have been possible without the help of our volunteers. Shelby County is known as a community that comes together and serves the families in this county. We couldn't have done this without our partnerships and our friends in the media for helping us quickly get this information out. There are a number of agencies that we want to thank personally. I'm going to read those off to make sure that we do not leave anyone out. Shelby County EMA, Chelsea Fire Department, Chelsea COPs, our volunteers, Alabama Wildlife and Fishery Conservation Officers, Jefferson County Aviation, our Shelby County Sheriff's Office Aviation Unit, the Vanderbilt Volunteer Fire Department, they are the heroes tonight. Shelby County Board of Education for making themselves available to assist us logistically. Red Mountain Search Dogs and the Helena Police Department, their canine search team. First and foremost, the success of this child being located safe and sound is because of our volunteers. We couldn't have done this without them.
And are they the ones that found him, the volunteers?
No, the child was located by our volunteer fire department here in the Vanderbilt area.
Was the child by himself when you guys found him? Or
That's correct.
With the dog, or
Yes, with the dog. So one of the things that made this situation slightly exigent for us as first responders is there is a handicap involved. The child is hearing impaired. And also we are limited on daylight. We are about an hour and a half away from sunset. So as those conditions began to become more clear to us, we knew that this was an emergency, and that's why we reached out so quickly and so openly to our volunteers here in the community. Let me just start by saying that Sheriff Sam Diego sends his deepest gratitude to these volunteers for being so quick and so readily available to come and assist our first responders in this search.
And where was he, like how far, I guess, where is he located in proximity with the home?
Certainly within walking distance. He had been missing for approximately 2.5 hours, and you can imagine the amount of terrain that he can cover in that time, especially chasing after the family pet. This is a 7-year-old child, and I think it's safe to assume that he quickly realized that he had been displaced from his home. So thankfully he was able to quickly be found and located and reunited with family.
We were told he had a hearing aid, but what level of difficulty is added when you have a child who is hearing impaired and trying to find him?
You can certainly imagine the difficulties of trying to identify or locate a child in dense shrubbery, dense woods such as this in East Shelby County. That's why we were so dependent on our volunteers and our aviation support unit. Aerial views and a dense terrain like this, we need as many volunteers as we could find, and they were quick to respond to the scene, and we're grateful to them for that.
Did the family call for help, or was it somebody else on the street that saw a 7-year-old?
No, the family law enforcement called 911 to report that their child had wandered off. We quickly responded to the scene and identified the circumstances, which is why we quickly mobilized our first responders, various units within the sheriff's office, and we quickly reached out for help. Our other law enforcement agencies, our fire and rescue departments, as well as volunteers here in the community.
How is he doing right now?
Right now he's being checked out by our rescue personnel, but he is reported to be in good condition.
So what resources went into this again? I'm sorry. I know that there was a helicopter involved.
Absolutely. So probably the most valuable resource that we can attribute tonight's success to is that of our volunteers here in Shelby County. That is something that makes Shelby County unique here in the state of Alabama, is we very much have a community feel. And here in East Shelby County, our volunteers never hesitated to come to this scene to offer whatever resources they had. We had folks arriving on horseback with four-wheelers, ATVs, everyone willing to go into the woods, mosquito-infested woods, in this dense humidity to help this family, and most importantly, to find this child in need. And so we're grateful for that. Any other questions?
Did people just walk up on him, or did he hear them? And how many?
Our volunteer fire department was able to locate him through some elevated terrain and was able to quickly find him, get a hold of him, and check him out. And they were able to find that he was in good health and good condition.
So they actually saw him, and then
Yes.
okay.
Yes. So that's the Vanderbilt Volunteer Fire Department. I think it's very safe for us to say boldly that they are the heroes tonight. We're very grateful for our volunteer firefighters and our fire department. We're grateful for all the volunteers that came out and assisted, especially to our hard-working deputies who have stayed over and walked through these woods countless hours looking for this child. Any other questions? Thank you to our media partners for helping us get this word out. This was very important to get good information out in a timely manner, and we couldn't have done it without your help, so thank you.